it'll stop in a minute, you know. Yeah, that's my compressor going. Thank you. Well, in this video, I want to make a, well, insect house. Because we're doing the rewilding here, and we've got the garden and that as well. We've got to have a channel, which is Earth Trifle, and it's all about the gardening and what have you. But I want to make an insect house, and I thought, hang on, what am I going to make it out of? Well, why not a pallet? Now, I thought to myself, okay, then, I'll make it out of a pallet, but I better be careful of what material I'm using, or what type of pallet it is. Because if your pallet, well, like these blocks here, a bit green, a bit of a greeny tinge to it, that timber is tannalised, so it's pressure treated. Now the problem with that is it could be toxic for whatever you want to, well, try and save. You might poison them instead. It's not a great idea. So avoid the pallets, that little bit green, use that for something else. Don't use it for insect houses or bird houses and bat boxes and stuff like that, no. Try and find pallets, or use the wood from your pallets. It's a bit more that sort of colour. And the likelihood is that would have been heat treated to get rid of any bugs. Because that's what they do with pallets, you see, especially when they move across countries and what have you. They heat treat them just to get rid of the bugs. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some of these bits and pieces, and just going to go with the flow really, and just see what I got, and it will evolve, because they're not fussy insects, and I'm not fussy in this. I don't care really what it looks like as long as it does a job. So we're going to use these pressed chipboard blocks, which were used in the base rails. These are like the separator blocks to create the base rails of the pallet, and they're fine as well. They're not chemically treated. They're not glued. They're compressed under extreme pressure, and the lithium or lignum in the actual wood is what bonds them. It's natural, just extreme pressure. A bit like wood pellets, for your pellet burners and stuff. There's no glue to make the pellets. It's just extreme pressure. So what we're going to do is we're going to think, okay then, what's it going to look like? How's it going to be? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get, for starters, these 6 blocks. I've got some more as well, but I'm going to do 6 blocks. It's going to be a vertical one, like that. Let's bring you down a bit. Just to see what we're doing. Okay, so it's going to be a vertical one like that. So, and then there might be a little pitch roof on the top, and then we might put some of these in as well, which these are bits of bamboo. And you can use anything really, anything that creates voids. Because you get like solitary bees, lacewings and stuff like that as well. Ladybirds, or obviously ladybirds and lacewings, they're good things to do, to try and help as insects, because they eat the insects we don't want. Like aphids. Put them in aphids. They eat all your vegetables. Don't like that, especially your bean tops on your broad beans. So, first of all, I need a correct frame. And this is going to be my template for size. So what I'm going to do is basically just go all the way around that, and then we'll create a roof on top of that. So, could piece across there, maybe don't need to. But I think I'm going to. I'm just going to go all the way around to start with. Where am I? Oh, decisions. Okay, first of all, though, I've got my sword. So I'm going to try and do it as quick as I can. If I plug the saw in, that is, it might work. La da 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 da. Oh, these things are sent to try us. That they are. So I want to try and be as quick as I can. So that'll be the bottom, the base. Now I'm going to need 2 sides, and I've got to decide whether or not I'm just going to go all the way around it, then add the extra bits onto it. Could do that. Might do that, might not do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I've got 2 the same size in. Make your mind up, Mark. Let's make your mind up. So I'm just using that on to put a line on there. Right, and now we've got to think about the height. So it's just quick. Obviously you use hand saws if you want. I'm not going to edit this video, you see, so I'm going to try and make it as quick as I can. And, just knock it together basically. Right, that'll be 2 of those. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a basically a habitat. Now, I'm looking at this now, these two here are a bit on the long side, so I'm going to shorten them. I'm just going to use my nail gun to nail them together. Yeah, that's what I'll do. It don't matter, it's a bit loose because I can ram stuff in there, might have you. Or maybe a bit shorter. I'll do that a little bit shorter. Yeah, these will swell up, you see, when they get wet anyway, so need to bear that in mind. Good, I've got a nail gun over here. What we'll also be doing, we've got to use these mediums here as a way of creating some thing for the bugs to go into, and I'll show you do that in a moment. Very simple, really, really, very simple. Make sure I've got nails in there. Oh my god, they're ridiculously long. We don't need them that long. Don't need them that long, not for this job. 40 mils. They will do. Just tap them to the bottom there. Lock and load. Bum 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 bum. Right, like so. Now when you use a nail gun like that, make sure you don't put your hands like that, because if that nail goes astray, it's going to go into your finger. So don't do it. Make sure your hands are way away. So if you've got 40mm nails, make sure you're way out of there. You know, way out of the way. You don't want nails in your fingers, because do you know what? That would hurt. Right, so like so. And I'm not going to rely just on the nails, because what happened is, as these swell, I pulled nails out. So it's not a good idea. So I'm just going to tap one down here, tap it in there. But I'm going to I'm going to put a screw in each corner. First of all, you've got to drill the holes and countersink. Otherwise, you split all the ends. If you just try and put your screws straight in, I know it don't matter too much. But if you don't create a clearance hole, all you do is split the ends of your wood, especially that close to the end. So you don't want to do that. So I'm putting the screws in because it pulls it tighter. Got a nail there poked through, so actually this proves my point actually. If I was holding that like that and I put the nail in, when that one decided to go astray, that'd have gone in my finger, wouldn't it? So just make sure your hands are way past. Yeah, don't forget that, it's really important. Because especially dealing with 18 gauge nails, which are quite thin, they don't necessarily go where you want them to. And like I said, I'm not editing this video, so it's going to be as long as it needs to be. It shouldn't be too long. It's pretty much a first stage of the structure. Now, we've got this issue going on here at the moment. We don't want that. So all I'm going to do is just whack a load of nails inside here, and that'll hold these in. Now, another thing you can do, if for instance, if you're doing a lot of bamboo in there, what happens, the birds will try and pull them out. So what you've got to do is you put a bit of mesh over the top. And I quite often use this stuff. This is just gutter guard, plastic gutter guard, or you can use sort of a wire grid, wire mesh. I'll cut that off in a minute. Cut off there. Tap that home. There you go. And I'm just going to whack the nails on the side here. I don't need screws in there as well for that. Don't need it at all. That's why your nail guns are so easy. Right. So that's staying in there now. Right. What we've got to think about now is, well, is that going to be it? Am I going to add anything to it? Well, I'll add a bit of bamboo into it maybe, and other stuff maybe. Which you can do that by creating a little bit of a roof. You know, help protect it from some of the weather. Well, what else could you do? Could you do it with corrugated iron even? A scrap of or something. You know, any old stuff you've got laying about. You know, a bit like that on the top. Anything. Chuck it over there, but we're going to create a little roof. Now they're in there nicely. So all these little slots, extra slots there, they're all places where the bugs will go in as well. But before we get any further ado, before we go any further, I'm going to drill a few holes in it. You can use a pillar drill if you like, but no, I'm just going to use battery drill. Not that bit though, because it won't go in. I'm just going to drill a load of holes. They're 10mm holes, but they don't all have to be 10mm. They give them all different sizes. 6mm. So what they're going to do is they'll, like lace wings and what have you, they'll lay the little larvae and what have you in there. And the bit about providing some habitat for, you know, okay, maybe where I live, maybe it's not a huge issue being living here in the country. But if you're not and you're trying to feed the birds, it's all part of the life cycle, you know. Now for me, I want to encourage lacewings, I want to encourage ladybugs, you know, ladybirds, because they're predators. And because they're predators, they eat the bugs that we don't like. Like I say, the aphids and what have you. Just creating lots of holes. Maybe some more bigger ones again. That'll do. I'll do 8mm. Might just we'll see where they've been. People are squeamish about things like bugs and stuff, aren't they? Oh no, there's a bee! There's a bee in the house! Get it out quick! No! Get it out to save it! One of our friends here, he hates moths. Really hates moths. Well, actually any bugs. And all she seems to want to do is kill everything. Get in there. But you can use offcuts of wood, you know, old pine like that. You could have in there and drill the holes in it. And each one of those holes, potentially, is a little home. The thing is, if you've got like carpenter bees, which are those black bees, you see, and you've got an issue with them eating your siding, you know, your fascia boards, barge boards and what have you, make holes to live in. Well, if you provide them with something in the first place, there's a possibility they won't damage your woodwork on your home. maybe that's enough. So drilling all those little holes in there sort of mimics really what the bamboo would do if I use bamboo. Yeah, so we've got loads of little holes in there now, and all those little places are where the bugs can live. And this just, you know, okay, it's rough as old guts. Doesn't matter though, does it? It's just got to do a job. That's all it's got to do. And that's basically the idea. So I could just whack a couple of nails in diagonally just to make sure they don't. Make double sure. Yes, better. Let's move in a bit. Right, so now I've got to tell you what sort of pack. Does it need a roof? Probably not really. You can have that exposed really, just like that. But whatever you do, you need a way of holding it to the wall. And you could just have it dangling there. I wouldn't recommend that because the wind will blow it about and it'll be a right old mess on the floor. It'll bust up basically. You'll get damaged. So I tend to screw them to something. And what I'm going to use is two little battens like this, bits of wood, just rough old bits of wood again. I'm going to put one there like that, and I'm going to put one like that, and that way we can fix it to a wall or a fence or something like that. Or if you're going to fix it to a tree, you might want to consider just grabbing another piece of board like this, that way. You can do it if you do a fence as well. And that's probably what I'm going to do because I'm probably going to fix this to a post. So I'm going to need some way of fixing it. So if I do that, I'll just cut that to length. Put a couple of holes in it. Feet in the head. And screw that on the back here, down the middle here, and that helps support the boards as well then, the blocks. And if you like, you could drill holes in the back here as well, because bugs will go behind, because obviously you create a void now, haven't I? So that's somewhere else where they can go. So what you could do, you could put a load of strips of wood down here, and all these little voids, you create all these little voids on the side, extra places for them to just, to live. To lay their little, have their larvae or lay eggs or whatever they do. Like I say, I wasn't worried at the beginning of this. I wasn't, saying I wasn't worried what it looks like, and I'm not. All I wanted to do is to do a job. Because I've got to make so many of them, because we're doing this rewilding here in France. We need so many things like this because it helps encourage the birds. I think that chuck is on its way out. So you can, you can make interesting ones, pretty ones and what have you. But is there any point really? It's just going to be in the garden, getting rained on. It's just got to do its job. So what I'm going to do is now, I am going to create a little bit extra habitat in the back here. Because I know, actually no, it depends. If I put it on a post, it's going to be exposed, isn't it? No, but if I was putting it against a wall, and there's this void here, I might consider putting a few strips of wood in there like that. Because all these voids here will be places where the bugs will like. But because I'm going to put it on the post, there won't be a void, it won't be any good. But I think, the next one I might make with a bamboo. I've already started cutting a load of bamboo to length, and basically just be loads of bamboo in there. Also, you can do it that way as well. Also, for instance, for like moths or butterflies, what have you, they like a space. Like for instance, you can create a board going across there, a couple of little slots or holes in the board, and same on the other side, and you create a perfect space in there for them to have the little cocoons and what have you. So okay, that's the first one. Simple, isn't it? Really, you've got to be in for more than that. It's just made an old pallet. It's not pretty, but it's there to do a job. And I'm going to use whatever I've got to do that. So there you go. Oh, look at that beautiful face. Oh, okay. So there you go. That's very, very simple. Made for pretty much nothing, 'cause it's from an old pallet. Using those stupid blocks that they seem to put in the what do you call it? Underneath the pallet. But they have the rails, whatever. You create these little separators where forks go in. You see, and these blocks are the blocks that have been in those separators. I don't know why they use them. Maybe because it's cheap. And it's a byproduct, isn't it? So there you go. That is a very, very simple insect house. I'm going to put it outside, I am. So I'm going to say ta-ta. And please boop the old like button. Because then you'll get a warm, fuzzy feeling inside every time I upload another video. And I know you'll be excited about that. No, okay. Ta-ta.